Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. It's the 1st of January 2023 and look at that sunrise over my shoulder there. First sunrise of the year. It's an absolute spectacle. It's been quite amazing. I've been here since about 5 o'clock, so quite a bit before the sun started to peek its head over the mountains. So conditions are great at the moment. I'm going to jump in the plane in about 10 minutes. We're going to head down to the west coast of the Western Cape. Have an absolute blast flying down the west coast there. Grab some great footage. I hope you're going to enjoy the flight with me, and I'll see you later in the plane. I've done the pre-flight checks, walk around the airplane. Everything is fine. She's ready to go. Right, so our route will be to Saldanha. There we go. 70 nautical miles. Okay, I have primed already, so yeah, I can go ahead and get started and get this little bit of condensation on the windscreen cleared here. Okay, so as I explained before boarding the aircraft, we're going to be doing a flight up the west coast of the Western Cape here, all the way up to Langebaan, Saldanha Bay, and then back a little bit later. We'll have to make a quick time because although today's wind is going to be fairly light, the temperatures are going to get out of hand real early already. So the maximum temperature peaking today in this area is going to be about 40 degrees Celsius, or I think that's around 103 degrees Fahrenheit. And at 10 o'clock already, it's going to be about 36 degrees Celsius, or about 97, 96 degrees Fahrenheit. So that makes very uncomfortable conditions, especially in a bush plane with light wing loading. So yeah, 9:30 back, the latest, and I think the conditions before that are going to be pretty smooth, especially the routing there is going to be very smooth, and then we'll see the hand we're dealt with when we come back. So I'm just waiting for the last couple of degrees of temperature here. It normally takes about 6 or 7 minutes for warm-up with this aircraft on an average day, and we're now running for 6 minutes, so just 2 or 3 degrees more temperatures. So I'm going to go ahead and so I think while we're doing this flight this morning, there's a couple of things that I'd like to chat about, a few ideas for the new year that I'd like to introduce, and of course enjoy the beautiful Western Cape coastline as we make our way. Right, let's go through our pre-takeoff checks, and at the same time I'll reset the panel for fuel and time. Right, doors locked, flaps are now set for takeoff. Fuel is on, and fuel is on, fuel is on. And QNH is correct and set. Frequency is current and next. We're not using the transponder today. I'll go ahead now and close and lock that door. Temperatures are good. Just check my phone quickly, and then at the same time let my wife know that I am about to take off.
possibility that Gareth would be joining me this morning, but he sent me a message at I think 1:30 this morning, while I was definitely sleeping, to say that he just got into bed, so he'll make contact with me in the morning if he can make it. Okay, landing lights are on, sky is free, let's make a broadcast and let's get out of here. Traffic in the Grootfontein area, Zulu Uniform Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush Baby will be departing Grootfontein runway 20 with a right turnout, then routing to the northwest into the Delta 200 and then cockpit. Bravo Romeo Victor. Okay, our panel is running, so let's go. Right, airspeed's coming alive, and we got 45, and rotate. And flaps away, and off we go. I'm just looking for a nice slow cruise all the way down to Saldanha. Traffic in the Clippyville area, Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush Baby, currently 700 foot just departed Grootfontein runway 20, now routing Altona, then Delta 200, then Bokpint remaining low level, Bravo Romeo Victor. My word. I'm just above the ground and the air temperature is super hot. That is really absurd. This time in the morning. Alright, we're about getting ready to leave the Cape Town Special Rules East airspace. And we'll be entering the Delta 200, which is a flight training airspace or danger airspace. Traffic in the Cape Town Special Rules East area, Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush Baby is currently low level, 2.5 nautical miles northwest of Altona, now changing frequency 124.4 for the Delta 200 and then routing Bokpint, Bravo Romeo Victor. Traffic in the Delta 200, Zulu Uniform Bravo Romeo Victor is a Whitebush Baby, currently low level, 2.5 nautical miles northwest of Altona Airfield, just entered your airspace from the southeast sector. We'll be routing across the Delta 200 to the corner of the FAR 36 and then on to Bokpint at 1,000 feet or below. Bravo Romeo Victor. So I'm doing a real slow cruise today. A slow cruise in this aeroplane is 85 miles an hour. We're doing 83 at the moment. Can't really go much slower than that in this aeroplane, the cruise configuration, or you slowly lose altitude because the power requirements are so little. That's a slow cruise, and we're going to be doing a nice slow cruise today. I'm definitely not in a hurry to get anywhere fast today. So I'm going to go ahead and climb a little bit. We're currently at 500 foot, and I've got some power lines ahead of me, so I just want to climb to about 800, 900 foot just to safely any of those power lines. Such a beautiful area, this. Baby is currently 600 foot, just passing north of Bookpin, now changing the 124.8 for the FAR 45 low level Bravo Romeo Victor routing to Sodon. Right, we're well clear of Grotto Bay, so let's get back down onto the beach. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about is some ambitious plans that I have for the new year, which involves creating a line of initially aviation related apparel, so that would be caps, t-shirts, golf shirts and hoodies, with a very how do I say, a very attractive marketing slogan to it, or branding slogan rather. That is what I'm actually quite deep into it right now. I'm just busy finishing off the first designs of the first couple of units. I've got somebody that's helping me with that. And as my creativity sort of flows with regards to this little project, which is really the reason I'm doing it. It's just about creativity. And I believe if you've got an idea and it's a good idea, then give it a go. You know, don't hold back. So as the creative thoughts flow, I've actually realized that would be applicable to not only aviation, but a couple of other hobbies too, such as fishing, for example. And I know that might sound real strange, but I guess you'll see in a couple of months what exactly I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to be doing that. As I say, I do have some people helping me with it. I'm merely providing the creative content, and I've got some people helping me take care of all the rest. Traffic traffic in the FAR 45, Bravo Romeo Victor, White Bush Baby is currently low level between Bookpint and Azefontein and continuing on to Azefontein, following that Saldana, Bravo Romeo Victor. Wow, pockets of hot air and warm and cold air all over the show. Choppy over this section of the beach. It should smooth out soon. I'm pretty sure that it's the Azefontein hill that is just chopping up the air a little bit. We're slowly coming up to the FAR 36, correction, FAP 36, which is a prohibited area around the Langebaan Lagoon. So I will have to start making my way inland a little bit. And just go around that airspace, and then we'll get back onto the coastline at the town of Langebaan. That prohibited airspace ends pretty much in about the middle of the town of Langebaan, so we can get back onto the coast from about there. Okay, let me start with the easterly heading, and we also need to climb a little bit here. You can see my nav screen warning me there of a restricted area that we're pretty close to. I'm well aware of that. Right, we need to do a right-hand turn here now to avoid the restricted airspace. Bon area, Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush baby. Currently low level coming up on some North Harbour. We'll be routing to the Iron Ore terminal and then making my way back towards the low level Bravo Romeo Victor. Wow, look at the amount of trash on the beach from all the ships. That is really concerning. Alright, so here we are at the Iron Ore terminal. Quick turn, check on the temperatures before I execute this left-hand turn, and we make our way back. Traffic in the Saldana Bay area, Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush baby, currently at the Saldana Iron Ore terminal, low level, and routing now back to Lagabon and then Azafonte, Bravo Romeo Victor. Oh wow, look at the glare. Altitude. So I just want to route over the suburb of Long Acres at about 1,000 foot. Just don't want to be a nuisance to anybody. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. 1,000 foot in this aeroplane at a low power setting. You can hardly hear it. But okay, we're coming up to the end of that airspace now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a right-hand turn here, and we'll make our way to the beach. And it's also time to change frequency. Low-level traffic in the FAR 45, Bravo Romeo Victor Whitebush baby, is currently 800 foot just at the southern point of the FAP 35, and then descending low level to route Azafonte, then Bokbit, Bravo Romeo Victor. now descend back into the haze layer, and the haze layer, of course, is the indication that the air is stable. And immediately the temperatures just drop. Oh, this is so cool. This is exactly what my intention was for this morning's flight. It's just a slow cruise up and down the west coast. Not racing anywhere fast. Just cruising along. Right now we're doing 85 miles an hour. Burning about 8 liters of fuel an hour. Let me get some figures here to show you. Well, there we go. 86 burning, yeah, about 8 liters an hour. So with my fuel flow current, it only reads, I think it runs in 2 pulse cycles, and at least the sending unit runs in 2 pulse cycles, and the Skydat GX2 reads in 4 pulse cycles. So whatever you see here on the instant fuel flow, you need to double. I guess I haven't really done a proper introduction on this aeroplane, so maybe we can do that now. A lot of you have asked in comments and messages whether the aeroplane is a kit fox or something else, because it certainly looks like a kit fox. So in fact, this aeroplane is called a bush baby, a KFA bush baby. KFA is for Kit Planes for Africa. So it is a copy of a kit fox. perhaps a Kit Fox Model 3, maybe a 4, maybe a 2. I'm really not sure, but I think a 3. It was manufactured by a guy named Monty Jeffries, who started the KFA aircraft and Kit Planes for Africa. Or was it SA Planes? I think it was called SA Planes. Anyway, so yeah, he basically copied the Kit Fox. And if you don't know, the Kit Fox is a copy of the Avid Flyer. So yeah, he copied the Kit Fox and he built a whole number of these aircraft. And he did a fantastic job. These are really the most versatile airplanes that you can find. They're super capable. You can land anywhere if you have bigger than the standard tires. I mean, the cruise and fuel consumption is just it's amazing. And you can cover quite a bit of distance in a day if you really want to. You know, so a lot of fun to fly as well. So yeah, Monty did a fantastic job of producing over 100 of these aircraft. This particular one is serial number 64. The one we've just bought for Tristan, my son, is serial number 102. There's not anything different between them. So, you know, a couple of hundred aircraft built in, and no real difference between them. Only differences one can find would be builders' discretions, like what wingtips to use, or whether to make the flaperons full span or not. Otherwise, they're all pretty much the same. Engine choices, of course, a builder's option. I have the Rotax 582, which does phenomenally well at the coastline. I'll get into some performance figures shortly. But yeah, basically I bought this one. I'm the third owner of this airplane. I bought this one really just to take it apart and rebuild it and put together the exact airplane that I want. And so it took me around 6 months to do that. So I think the first thing I can show you that is a considerable change is the cowling. I'm not a big fan of the standard Bush Baby cowling. So I designed and tooled a set of molds to produce this cowling, which I made in carbon fiber. And then we also have the matching spinner in carbon fiber. And then if we look inside, that's really where I did most of the work, just to make it as presentable as possible and also as comfortable as possible. That was high on my wanted list. So I did all of the upholstery that you see here. I did all myself. It was my first time doing upholstery work, and I think I did a pretty okay job of it. Came out pretty good. It's real comfortable. I mean, I've been in there now for 1 hour and 50 minutes, and I could do this for another 6 hours. If we look at the panel, I've got the Skydat GX2. I use the Sky Demon for navigation, and I've got the MGL V10 VHF transceiver, and then of course I've got the Garmin GTX 327 transponder. So really the interior is where I went crazy. I also made this visor panel. The instrument panel itself is a very light layup carbon fiber.
Traffic in the Bulkfint area, Bravo, Romeo Victor, White Push Baby, currently low level at Bulkfint, routing on to Melkbos coastline and then inland to the Delta 200, Bravo, Romeo Victor.
So now if we look at performance, I mean, I'm just thrilled the way this airplane performs with a Rotax 582. I cruise on an average at about 90 miles an hour, sometimes just a little bit quicker than that. And my fuel burn at 90 miles an hour is about 11.5 liters an hour on average, which is extremely low. A fast cruise in this airplane is between 100 and 105 miles an hour, and she gets that quite easily. I've been about 110. That's about the maximum that I've ever recalled flying in this airplane. I don't really own this airplane to go anywhere particularly fast. Instead, it's more of an adventure tool to, in fact, do the opposite and really take time getting to places and enjoy the trip. The last thing is a question that a lot of people ask me. Is why is the airplane a tricycle gear and not a tail dragger? When I bought the airplane, it was my plan to convert it to a tail dragger after flying a couple of hours, so that was my phase 2 work. And then I started flying the airplane, and I very quickly realized how capable it was in the tricycle configuration. I mean, I fly with a whole bunch of tail draggers. We all fly to the same places. In fact, I land shorter, stop sooner than any of them, and I've got cable brakes. They've all got hydraulic brakes. So this airplane really proved itself as a tricycle with 800 by 6 tires, so the Carlisle tires. Which are super soft and spongy. So it planted a seed in my mind, which was, well, should I change? And then a couple of hours later, I made the decision that no, I'm not going to change. If you look at the Savannahs or the Zenith high-wing tricycle aircraft, they are super capable, just in the same way that this is. So, you know, why change it? The implications of changing it is probably about a week's worth of work, about 8 weeks of paperwork, waiting for modification applications to be processed with the Civil Aviation Authority. So, yeah, I mean, I struggled to stay out of this airplane for 4 days straight when I'm at home in the Cape. So to take it out of flying status for 2 months or 2.5 months just doesn't make sense with the way my bungees are set up, which is pretty soft, the tires and the tire pressure that I run. It is super capable. So yeah, nose wheel, she stays. The only concern for me about the nose wheel is if I ever do have an engine failure and I don't have anything decent to land on, then the likelihood of flipping over, well, it's almost a guarantee. So that is the only consideration with regards to a change. So I may change at some point, purely just because maybe I'm bored and I feel like a different challenge, but it's not because the nose wheel is at all limiting. So I guess that's probably the final point to discuss about the Bush Baby, and I hope that it answers some questions that some of you might have had. So we're coming up now, probably 1 mile back of Grootfontein, 1 mile northwest of Grootfontein, and yeah, we'll shortly be joining for a landing on runway 20.
Traffic in the Grootfontein area, Bravo Romeo Victor White Bush Baby is currently 1 nautical mile northwest of the airfield. We'll be flying overhead and then joining on a right-hand downwind for runway 20, Bravo Romeo Victor.
Okay, so here we're coming up overhead Grootfontein, just checking the windsock. I know what the wind direction is, no doubt about that, but I just want to gauge the strength of it. Now I'm going to say about 6 to 8 knots from the south. And the temperatures are looking good.
Traffic in the Grootfontein area, Bravo Romeo Victor is now on a right-hand downwind for runway 20, full stop, Bravo Romeo Victor.
Let's turn base. I'll make the next call when we're base to finals.
And Grootfontein traffic, Bravo Romeo Victor now turning base to finals, runway 20, full stop, Bravo Romeo Victor.
Alright, temperatures look great, speed is good. Let's get this baby on the ground. Right, nice neat landing. Okay guys, we got 2 hours and 15 minutes in the air. What an awesome flight. Excellent way to start the year of 2023 off. I can't think of a better way to do it. I'll try and get this video out as soon as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So chat later, and cheers for now.